Please imagine, we're at the Olympic Games, 800-meter run. Usain Bolt is competing. Fastest man in the world, of course he wins. But there's been a rule change. For every millisecond that he is faster than the competition, he is fined £10,000. Also, first, second, and third place all count as the same. How do we think he feels? I'm guessing he's a little frustrated and he's questioning the system. Please keep this image in mind. We'll get back to it. So I'm Regina. I'm from Joblinge. We're based in Germany. I'll give you a quick rundown of what we do and why we do it. As the UK, Germany is also facing a skilled worker shortage. We have 70,000 vacant apprenticeships, but at the same time, we have 2.3 million young people without vocational training. So the apprenticeships could easily be filled. Why is there such a discrepancy in numbers? It's because education and origin are still the main deciding factors of getting into the job market. It's a completely unjust system. This is where we come in. What do? We have set up a 6-month program designed to help young people with challenging backgrounds get into an apprenticeship. We do this in cooperation with the German job centers who place young people into our program. The program consists of different aspects. So they get a personal mentor at their side. They have CV training, interview training. They look at what are actually my strengths. Where should I go into the job market? What is my thing? They gain practical experience in internships, usually around 3 internships. And then at the end of the 6 months, hopefully they get into an apprenticeship. We've been doing this for 15 years. We've worked with 15,000 young people very successfully. We have a placement rate of 80%. And usually we actually place them into an apprenticeship after 3 months, not after 6. We do this Germany-wide, 32 locations. And in 2016, as an answer to the refugee crisis, we created the Compass program, basically a longer version of our classic 6-month program containing a language course and just more support in each area. We've been working with around 3,000 refugees, and in this program we have a placement rate of 73%. Let's check back in with Usain Bolt, who's now sweaty. He's out of money, probably still frustrated. Why am I telling you this story about the fake story about Usain Bolt? It's because we have something in common with him. We're very proud of our success, but actually our success is costing us money because only 60% of our costs are covered by public funding. The rest needs to be gathered by private funding. But the kicker is, from the public funding, it only comes to us as long as the young people are in our program. From the day that we place them into apprenticeship, the money stops. So our costs are calculated for 6 months, but if we go into an apprenticeship after 3 months, we are losing money. So our success really is costing us money. At the same time, other initiatives that work in our area as well don't actually showcase their numbers. We know they are keeping the young people longer in their programs because of course they do. They're incentivized to do so by the public funding system. Keep them longer, keep them in the loop, don't get them into apprenticeships, so you get your money. Also, they don't actually show the success rate, so the placement rate. So everything counts as the same. We are competing in the public eye, we are doing the same as everyone else. So the consequence is we could help way more young people, but we just can't afford to because we haven't got the money to. So we require external funding. What have we done? Together with the Human Safety Net, we have created the Outcome First Apprenticeship Fund. Basically, for every refugee that we place into an apprenticeship, we can get a certain amount of the fund to cover the incurring costs. This enables us to, A, work independently from the public sector and help way more young people and way more young refugees. The fund is already set up for 3 years and is funded by the Human Safety Net. And we are now looking for more investors to increase the time frame of the fund and, of course, the numbers of young people that we can work with. Our ambitious goal is to set a precedent. We think success should be efficiency. That should be the success factor. The benchmark should not be how long can we keep someone in a program, but how quick can we actually get them out of the program and into an apprenticeship? Because as we heard yesterday, apprenticeship work is the key to being integrated into society. So basically, let's change society together. Thank you very much.
I hope you can hear me. Yeah, great. So I am delighted to introduce you to Dipact, which is an acronym of 6 pivotal words: diverse, innovative platform for arts communities transformation. We are multicultural community cafes run and led by artists from forced migration or global majority backgrounds. We managed to kind of achieve this by providing really respectable employment and really meaningful platform for artists to share their stories, their art and skills. And we are really proud to be working with over 100 artists we've established in 2016, but we have been a social enterprise in the past 2 years. So I'm going to take you to the story. No one chose to leave their hometown country by force. When I leave my hometown country in 2009, at the age of 21 as a young artist, basically I faced nearly 6 years of being an asylum seeker. So those years, which was my golden years of being 20 years old, made me look at the fails and the gaps in the cultural sector. But after years and getting my refugee status, I've become one of the Manchester cultural leaders, and I've become working in the UK and also internationally. But why did I get jobs when I've met artists that are famous in their hometown countries, come to the UK, and they start working in takeaways, they are either jobless on job center, and they cannot find work. So we're looking at an employment crisis in the arts and culture sector. Let me tell you that in the first 6 months of lockdown, we lost 55,000 creative jobs. It means that people start leaving the creative jobs and the graphs start going higher and higher. And not only that, we're looking at the UK Cultural Services stats that just this year, UK has spent £4.48 billion on the cultural sector. So we're looking at, just not employment for the artist, and actually the urgent need for an strategically approaching to support the artist and to utilize this fund. So looking at this problem and looking at lack of spaces for artists, not having enough cultural integration really kind of inspired me to establish Dipact, and it's been established also with my partner, who is also an artist, couldn't get a job. Now he's kind of get second passion as a lead chef of National Trust, so serving hundreds of customers in the past 11 years. So basically, our segments are, we are a multicultural community cafe that are run by artists. So the coffee and the tea that you've been drinking right now, in our menu, it comes with a visual art and a poem. So the menu has been infused by the artist's works. And not only that, you can scan the QR codes on the table to get to know artists. We have artist hubs, we organize events, we organize basically workshops, and it actually opens up a really brave atmosphere to have dialogues. So our business model was really innovative, and because we are a CIC, we can trade and attract grants. It means that our 70% of profit is from the cafe, selling art, and the grants is going to help us strategically to support the artist. So we've been testing the business model, and we've been testing it with over 150 people in Manchester to doing surveys, and we've got 100% positive feedback with amazing calls. That one of them has been saying that in rainy Manchester, I just want to come to this cafe. And we are cafe clusters. It means that we're going to have different franchise. And not only that, we've been collaborated with one of the busiest cafe in Manchester to test our business model. And not only it has scaled the profit, and the community and the customers gathered to the space, artists loved and get to know how to run the spaces. And I'm talking about this December. So not only that, based on our business model, we increase employment, and we really support the artists with the skills. Besides that, we really reduce the stigma and discrimination, and by that, we build cultural bridges and social integration. And not only that, we maximize the government funds to make sure that it's strategically looking at the scale of the problem within the employment sector. So basically, what I'm going to kind of ask today, we're looking at now to really establish our cafe. So £35,000 is going to help us to open our first cluster, and for 12 months. £75,000 is going to help us to open 2 clusters, one in Manchester. We identified the need for these spaces in isolated areas in Stockport, in Rochdale, in Oldham, in Bury, in Wigan and Lee. And £150,000 would help us to not only open 2 clusters for 18 months, we are actually looking at having the all the clusters is going to organically come out of all of that. I have all the details and the numbers and the profit that after my pitch I can provide that. So I want to actually kind of take attention to one of the stories of our artists, because I'm talking about artists who come to this country from head management level, from professional levels. One of our artists recently won an international award winning, so his film became one of the best films in Rohip in Germany in film festival, and also his actress winning the best actress in Kies Germany Film Festival, and he just gone back to his low-wage job. So opening Dipact, it means that we can support and use the experience of these incredible artists. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Let me tell you a story. Samuel is a South Sudanese refugee in Kenya on the NAMO program. He contacted us a few months ago to say he needed money. We responded to him, we can't give you money, but we'll give you an opportunity. Samuel had amazing skills, very good English, and the professionalism to be successful, yet he couldn't find employment. What we could do is we could link him to work. After the first week of work, he earned 4 times the average wage of a Kenyan graduate. My name is Lorraine Charles. I'm the Executive Director of NAMO. At NAMO, we link refugees to dignified remote work. We provide them with the training in the soft skills, and we provide them with the networks, the very important social capital, so they can be successful when we're looking for employment.
And my name is Giselle Gonzalez. I'm the founder and CEO of Equal Reach. We're a social enterprise that connects vetted teams of displaced talent and host community talent together to dignified digital work. After 8 years of working and researching in this space, I built a Fortune 5 company's first impact sourcing solution to connect refugee talent with digital work. And together, we are helping more companies do the same by bridging that gap through Equal Reach with incredible partners like Namal.
When we look at the issues that refugees face, the 114 million, we've been hearing this number throughout the last couple of days, the 114 million refugees that are in very precarious conditions. They face significant challenges. They often lack the skills and education, they lack the infrastructure, they lack the access to legal employment in countries in which they live. What we aim to do is to turn precarity into agency.
And that's where Equal Reach comes in. There are incredible programs worldwide that I know each of you know that are working with displaced talent. However, they lack critical market linkages for what comes after they graduate from these upskilling programs. Meanwhile, in the private sector, rapid digitization is transforming every industry, driving more of those companies to start sourcing from outside their local talent pools. These are two sides of the same coin. And Equal Reach and Namal are solving one problem with the other. We are connecting essentially with a fair trade version of a freelancing marketplace, connecting specifically displaced talent through a responsible sourcing framework that protects rather than exploits one of the most marginalized communities in the digital economy. We do this through team and project-based work. So essentially, Equal Reach receives projects from businesses and then connects them carefully to our vetted network of refugee talent teams. That we facilitate the contracts, the payments, and the matching along the way as a trusted intermediary for both parties. Our work with Namal is the perfect example of this model in action. So our first contract together after vetting Namal and bringing them on as an Equal Reach team was a $10,000 web development and complex DevOps project for a UK-based startup. We selected a team of refugee developers from Kenya and Ethiopia, and each team member was earning nearly $2,000 together, working as a team. They were building their portfolio, gaining experience, producing higher quality work, and meanwhile, de-risking the client from sending their business critical projects to a team of otherwise unknown talents. In comparison, one of the developers from that program, Susan, she applied for a project of nearly the same scope on an open marketplace for freelancing. And yet on there, she was competing with dozens of other freelancers for a project worth only $100 total. So EqualReach and Namal are proving that you can drive not only incredible business value, but also reportable social impact by sending work to teams of displaced talents. But we need your help. Together, we are seeking £600,000 in grant funding in order to scale up. EqualReach today has more project requests than we have the capacity to deliver, which is an incredible problem to have. However, we are ready to scale now. I'm gonna get really practical for those of you in the room listening for ROI. EqualReach is on track to deliver £800,000 worth of projects to refugee teams by the end of this year and 2.2 million by the end of next year. But we need that injection of cash in order to scale up now, and we are on track to be fully self-sustaining after our first 12 to 14 months.
With NAML's current limited capacity, we've got 2 tech leads, one of whom is a refugee. We can have a turnover of 200,000 this year with our current capacity. We could quadruple this with more money. Remember Samuel and Susan that we spoke about earlier? We want to create thousands of more refugees like them, but we need your help. We need the funding, but also, if you have a project that you need done, don't outsource it to an agency in London, outsource it to us. Our teams of refugee talent can deliver these projects at equal quality that you would get from a London agency, but you'll be supporting talent who actually need your help. But they don't just need your help, they don't need your pity, they need your business. So support us and we can do this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I won't be saying much. I'm just here for the speed dating. We have my colleague Edson Niwamanya from Uganda, who's actually now based in Kenya for a conference, who's dialing in, and he'll be doing the pitching. There he is.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nikolaos. Good morning. My name is Edson Niwamanya from Uganda. I work with Relevant Ventures. We train and finance social entrepreneurs to solve biggest problems. And one of the entrepreneurs in our programs is Amy. Amy fled to Uganda from the Democratic Republic of Congo with her family, and she needed to start from a young age to fend for her family. Her pain and experiences inspired her to start Patapia. Patapia is a social enterprise that trains and finances refugee women to start and grow their small businesses. So Amy represents a group of growing social entrepreneurs that are trying to create a very big impact. Uganda is Africa's largest refugee hosting country, hosting over 1.5 million refugees. And this number is growing with the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Somalia, and many others. So our solution, we have created a unique funding model that offers social entrepreneurs like Amy an opportunity to raise financing. So Amy started Patapia, grew it to a certain stage, but just needed $10,000 to grow and scale her solution, which she struggled to get. So our solution, we have created what we call the Purpose Pool, a unique financing model that has elements like peer selection, where we involve the entrepreneurs that we have invested in financing those that we want to invest into next. What that does is that, one, it breaks the power dynamics, that they can come in along with our investors and facilitators to choose into entrepreneurs who want to invest into next. The other element is what we call revenue share financing. So compared to traditional financing instruments, like debt, these refugee social entrepreneurs do not have collateral. So many of them either fear or are certain they cannot raise financing from banks. So what revenue share does is that you do not require to have any collateral. Come access the financing and pay a portion of your revenue until you have paid back an agreed, we call it multiple or interest. And my colleague Nicholas will share more about that. So to date, we set up a pilot in 2020, and we have invested $90,000 into 8 social entrepreneurs like Amy. And these entrepreneurs have gone on to raise over $250,000, and with support through technical assistance, have been able to grow their business at more than 40% average compounded. And so we believe that entrepreneurs like Amy can create, one, jobs, not just find them, create jobs, but then also inspire this wave of growing entrepreneurs within these refugee settings. So we are seeking $500,000, $400,000 of which will go directly into investing into these entrepreneurs. And the structure of our fund is that the returns that will come from their repayments will create a revolving sustainable fund where the returns can go into investing into other entrepreneurs. So the 100,000 will go to what we call the much needed technical assistance. These entrepreneurs are early stage and they need the capital and the training and the support to be able to create enough value, because for us success is, one, if they can grow the business, but then secondly, if they can scale them to the extent that they can raise more financing, which we have proven possible. So we are looking for partners, organizations that can go on this journey with us. I like the speaker who said we need to do this together. And I think this is a perfect opportunity. My colleague Nikolaus is going to be around for the summit. Very sad that I couldn't be there, but thank you all for being there. And please, if you have any questions, contact Nikolaus or myself on LinkedIn. My name again is Edson Iwamanya. Thank you so much.